So, as you guys know, we are amidst a very, very serious and devastating and heartbreaking situation. I think I can speak for all of you when you woke up and saw that the invasion actually happened. It was a bit of a surprise. In fact, it was a bit of a surprise because of hundreds of messages that I have been receiving over the past few months when there was speculation about this, especially when U.S. intelligence was calling an invasion, saying that, oh, this is bullshit, it's not going to happen, all this kind of stuff. And I'm always saying that an invasion of Taiwan is not on the immediate horizon, but I do trust intelligence if they're saying that they're going to invade Ukraine. I was erring on the side of caution there.
I mean, all the troop buildup and
the troop buildup. The writing was on the wall.
Yeah, it didn't surprise me at all. I was very disappointed and heartbroken when it actually happened.
That's what I want to say. I think that I can speak for everyone to say when you turned on the news and you saw it happening, that it was disappointment and heartbreak rather than shock. Yeah, shock and awe. And really horrible imagery coming out. It put me in a really bad headspace the past couple days, and it's one of those things where I don't want to avoid it because number one, I have to pay attention to it to figure it out. And number two, it's a moral responsibility as well to figure out what's going on. But it's also horrible. It's also horrible to see this. I mean, it's 2022 and we're in a situation where a global superpower is invading a sovereign nation. That shouldn't be a thing.
No,
right?
It shouldn't. Current year argument.
What's that?
Current year argument. It's 2022 and we're still, you know what I mean?
I know. Of course it's a current year argument, but it's still that's what drives it home, right?
Yeah.
It makes it more, recent stuff is more palpable and awful. So anyway, I just got a map of the current conflicts. But
well, they're calling him the Ghost of Kiev, right? Fighter pilots, the first ace fighter pilot in modern times, took down 6 enemy planes in a single day.
It's pretty wild.
It's insane. It's really fantastic. You know, that's really my wheelhouse. I love fighter jets.
I threw it in there. I thought of you when I made the media pack.
Yeah. No, I think it's fantastic. I'm going to... Maybe we can do an update on where this all goes, because it's still early days when it comes to this, but I want to find out exactly what happened and the planes that were involved and everything, and we'll talk about it. You know, when they,
in China, Chinese propaganda, state propaganda brings up their heroes. They bring up someone named Lei Feng, who is completely fabricated.
Fake. Yeah, it's fake.
It's a guy they made as like a hero till he died from a light pole falling on him or something. But he would go out there and they'd catch him with... a power line, yeah. Catch him with professional cameras, like being altruistic or whatever. It's like a role model, right? Yeah. This is an actual, it's a real person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, I wanted to go into a very heartfelt speech from Ukraine. And I wanted people to see this. It's got English subtitles. It's only a minute. And I thought it was a really good sentiment, because what I think people get really misconstrued is that if you are like us and you're talking about the devastation that authoritarian dictatorships bring to the world, particularly China is what we talk about because we have experience with it. Yeah. You might think, these people are calling for some sort of conflict to suppress the threat of the Chinese government, things like this, right?
Yeah.
But actually, we're not. I don't think Winston or I have ever called for conflict whatsoever. Yeah. Right? So anyway, I wanted to clear that up. I want to make sure that people never, think that anybody in this sphere and who we collaborate with are pro-war. War is always a bad thing. I didn't say war is 100% not justified sometimes, but it's always bad. The outcome of war is always bad. It's death. It's destruction. Yeah. It's horrible. And what I wanted to get into here was the personal response. We both have friends in Ukraine and Russia, who we've spoken to. We'll actually play a little clip from someone. But you might think, if you were just looking at a headline of tanks rolling people over or some planes flying overhead and shooting missiles into civilian establishments, that Russia is a bad guy, right? Or that, this is all a one-sided thing. Yeah. When in fact... the Russian people and the Ukrainian people, brethren, a lot of them, don't want this.
Of course.
Right? And it's something that I think gets really overlooked, right?
Yeah.
So I did want to play this little clip here.
Yeah, we will definitely play this clip. I just got to say, like I said earlier, is I'm going to confirm exactly about this, Ghost of Kiev.
It's still developing.
Right now, it's out there. Sure. It's boosting people's morale. You never know in these situations if things are being exaggerated.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say like this is fact verbatim.
No, but absolutely. The legend of the Ghost of Kiev is amazing.
It's cool and it's developing.
can't wait to find out a little more about this. Anyway, let's play this clip that you wanted to play, because I think it's very important for everyone.
Сегодня я инициировал телефонный разговор с президентом Российской Федерации. Результат – тишина. Хотя тишина должна быть на Донбассе. Поэтому сегодня я хочу обратиться ко всем гражданам России. Не как президент. Я обращаюсь к российским гражданам как гражданин Украины. С вами нас разделяет более 2000 километров общей границы. Вдоль нее сегодня стоят ваши войска, почти 200 тысяч солдат, тысячи боевых машин. Ваше руководство одобрило их шаг вперед на территорию другой страны. И этот шаг может стать началом большой войны на европейском континенте. Мы точно знаем, нам не нужна война, не холодная, не горячая, не гибридная. Но если на нас будут наступать войска, если у нас попытаются отнять нашу страну, нашу свободу, наши жизни, жизни наших детей, мы будем защищаться. Не наступать, защищаться. Наступая, вы будете видеть наши лица. Не наши спины, наши лица.
I wanted to highlight the Ukrainian side of things, the humanist aspect, right? I liked how the president addressed the people of Russia, not pointing fingers, right? Not saying like you are the enemy, right? Yeah. He's saying that your leaders, and this is a distinction we make all the time too.
Of course.
Your leadership and your government has made a horrendous decision, and it's honestly up to you to try to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
Right. Our friend No Fuckers, he's
we'll
I put his channel link here. It actually doesn't. His channel link doesn't match the name of the channel, so make sure you type it in properly. But it's in the description below.
You can see it there.
He's a friend of the channel. He's a Russian vlogger in Russia, and he covers things just from the ground, from a realistic perspective as a Russian person. And he made a fantastic video here that I want you guys to go watch. So go give him a subscribe and go watch him. But he made a video basically saying that we Russians don't want any part of this.
Yep.
Right.
The people of Russia that we know, and for a large portion of the people of Russia, do not want this war.
No.
Okay? And so it's not about, oh, Russians are bad. Just remember that.
Right.
And as a South African, I can say the same. Growing up when apartheid was being abolished, and my entire life, when people hear that I'm South African, there's a stigma there. Oh, you're a racist. You're bad. It's absolute bullshit. You have to understand that as a person growing up in South Africa, I never supported apartheid. It's never been something that I'm like, yes, this is what I want. Just like many Russians don't support this war.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to separate the individual from the nationality. It's an incredibly important thing to do.
Right. And I just wanted to extend the same gesture that we do to China.
Yeah.
Because the Chinese people we know and love in the country we lived in over a decade.
Yeah.
14 years for you, 10 years for me. That we don't just do it for lip service. We don't say the CCP is not the people for lip service. We do that because it's a moral responsibility that we believe.
Yes.
Because if we start demonizing human beings with families as just someone that rampantly and blindly supports the government to the point where they'll march into battle and kill people for it, that's just not the case.
No.
And if we don't delineate that, then that's unbelievably unfair.
Correct.
Right? And Russians deserve the same treatment.
Yeah. If you're in the Russian military and you're fighting, it's a different story. That's a choice that you've made,
Yeah.
So anyway, let's continue.
That's a good point.
So these are some of the things that are happening in Russia, the Russian people protesting against. And of course, this is an incredibly dangerous thing to do.
Yeah. I wanted to also say that Russia is not a free country by any means. It's an autocracy, right? But the people that are protesting are getting taken away. They're risking their futures, their lives, everything, right? Yeah. But if you did this in China, and I'm not doing a whataboutism, but if you did this in China, it would be, no one would be on the street here.
No.
It would be rounded up and people would be killed immediately.
Absolutely.
Not saying that's not happening in Russia, but China is the next step below that in terms of personal freedoms.
Here we have a Russian tennis star as well, writing on the camera.
That was cool, yeah.
Actually,
you can see the camera when he pulls away.
Yeah, I'll get us out of there.
This shot here.
Yeah, no war, please.
So, I mean, I just wanted to mirror the sentiment of the average Russian person out there.
Yeah, correct. Again, you have to understand that this is the government has decided, and Putin has decided in all his wisdom, or lack thereof, to go ahead with this invasion. Mm-hmm. And the army's going in there, and they're doing terrible things.
And they do have a certain level of conscription as well. So, I mean, you got to feel for some of the soldiers even because they haven't made the choice. And I saw some people even just give up and refuse to shoot, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it's awful. It's again, we're at the whims of a megalomaniac that has his finger on the trigger and wants to do something that other people don't want.
Yeah,
it's unfair.
That's correct.